Good afternoon. Wow. We have an idea. In fact, we have a great idea. Actually, this is the best idea we have ever devised. We're going to train Jamaican athletes with Jamaican coaches, Jamaican managers, here in Jamaica with Jamaican facilities. Everyone is going to love this idea. Have you heard the story before? Creating a Jamaican training option for Jamaican athletes who have left high school is exactly what we should do. So in September 1999, Stephen Francis, his brother Paul Francis, David Noel, and myself set out to pursue our great idea, our dream. Well, what happens then? We soon discovered that not everybody loved our idea. In fact, they did not even like it. We were depending on the support of Jamaica and Jamaicans, and we thought, this is going to be so great, everyone will support us. But we heard from the experts in track and field at the time, who said that Jamaican coaches and Jamaican managers were just not as good as our counterparts in North America and in Europe. And therefore, we should not pursue this path. The American coaches joined the chorus. They advised that Jamaican coaches, the role Jamaican coaches were to play in track and field, were to babysit the Jamaican athletes while they're in high school. And then once they left high school, the American coaches, the great American coaches, would transform them into these remarkable athletes. Now, the fact that I'm here today in November 2010 at a TEDx event, clearly our idea worked. Yes, our dream was realized. But to really and truly understand and appreciate what we went through to get here, you need to be transformed with me then. Come back with me 10 years ago to the change of the millennium, year 2000, and understand the mindset. I've heard that term before. The mindset that existed when it came to track and field, in particular track and field from the Jamaican perspective. What were people thinking in the year 2000 about track and field? The first hurdle that we had to overcome, the first of our big challenges, is that every track star in high school, male or female, one of their primary goals was to earn an American scholarship, an athletic scholarship to an American university. That would provide them with great facilities, great coaching, great competition, an opportunity for a university degree, and importantly, the possibility to actually live the rest of their lives in the United States of America. What more could a young Jamaican track star hope for? The second big reality that we had to face is that Jamaica's success at the world and Olympic level really resided in people who had followed that path. I'm talking about Merlene Ottey, Donald Quarry, Bertrand Cameron, Grace Jackson, Juliet Cuthbert. What did all these superheroes in the Jamaican sporting world have in common? They received American athletic scholarships to universities in the States, and they went on to win world or Olympic medals. Perhaps the most difficult hurdle that we faced, the biggest challenge, was the Jamaican mindset. In Jamaica, Jamaicans were convinced that what we had achieved at the Olympics and the World Championships was so great, was so tremendous, that it was short of being remarkable, amazing. So what were you going to change? Why change it? In fact, we had seen that the path of going to the United States worked. So much so that the saying was, we're the best. The only country with a better record in the sprints and relays than Jamaica was the United States, and look how small we are. What even made this tougher for us is that we had Jamaicans, or athletes of Jamaican descent, who were representing other countries, who were winning gold. So when you look at O'Donovan Bailey of Jamaican descent, representing Canada at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics, going on to win a gold medal in the men's 100 meters, or Linford Christie, also of Jamaican descent, representing Great Britain at the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, also going on to win gold in the men's 100 meters, it just reinforced the point that the Jamaican athletes were great, were the best, but they needed to leave Jamaica to get the great training of our American coaches and the great leadership of our managers in Europe. So that really made it tough for us, and we're really up against it. How do we challenge this? We actually found that the power brokers in track and field in Jamaica felt, how dare these 4 Jamaican men try to wreck a great thing that Jamaica has going on? And if we give them the benefit of the doubt that what they really were trying to do was in Jamaica's best interest, they actually actively set out to make sure that the MVP track and field club would not get off the ground, would not succeed. Now, it was easy enough to convince the high school coaches and the high school athletes, star athletes, and their parents not to pursue this route, because their eyes were firmly fixed on that North American prize. But even corporate Jamaica didn't believe our vision. Corporate Jamaica felt, if it's not broken, why are you going to try to fix it? We're doing so well in athletics, why would you want to change it? What is it that Jamaican coaches and Jamaican managers can do that the American, European, Canadians weren't already doing? So here's our challenge. We're on our own, and we have our vision, and we have to pursue it. How do we get this thing to work? Our first step is that we had to have our philosophies. And I'm going to share the 3 philosophies at the very end of my presentation. But for a track club to exist, and we heard earlier, you don't become a leader until you have a follower. For a track club to exist, we actually needed to have an athlete. Or athletes, and we had none. By sheer happenstance, there was a young lady who had just returned to Jamaica after 4 years in the United States on an athletic scholarship. She had not made that dream breakthrough to get that ranking in the top of the world, and had come back to Jamaica and was in search of a coach. And we happened to be in search of an athlete. And that is how, literally, Bridget Foster became the first Jamaican member of the MVP Track Club. So we have Bridget, and we start to train, and within 1 year, Bridget qualifies for the Olympic finals in Sydney for the 100-meter hurdles. We have made it. We said, this is it. Everybody is going to believe us. The support is going to come rolling in. You know, we have changed the direction of Jamaican track and field. Well, as you can guess, people didn't believe us. In fact, we wondered if people even noticed. So, we're now in 2001, and training at a high school on a dirt track called Wilmer's Boys School in Kingston, Jamaica was not sustainable for training post-high school athletes. And I don't know if it was inspired brilliance or sheer desperation, but our nearly bankrupt head coach, Stephen Francis, approaches the University of Technology and says, I will offer my IWF certified coaching skills for free to coach the athletes at the University of Technology in exchange for permission for our MVP athletes to also train here at UTech. UTech says, free? That's a good deal. But that was able to breathe a critical lifeline into our dream. So we are able to move on. So now we're at a situation where we thought we were going to succeed. The truth is, were we even going to survive? What UTech provided us with, though, was the ability, a new avenue to source athletes. Now remember, the top stars from high school, from our championships, were leaving in droves. We can't even target them. So we had to target what were considered second-tier athletes. It's not a nice term, but it's true. We could not access the top stars. So in our first batch of recruits, of second-tier athletes in 2001, September, was a young man by the name of Asafa Powell. Now, Asafa Powell at the time, remember we're in 2001, we're not talking about the world record holder, right? In 2001, Asafa at 19 years old had not won any race at Boys Champs. In fact, he had not even completed a final at Boys Champs. So we had to take really second-tier athletes and see how could we develop them. Well, this growth took place, and really we actually felt we were doing very well. Our athletes started to make international teams, the Commonwealth Games teams, the Pan American Games, even the World Championships and the Olympics. And we thought they were doing so well. But it was not until June 14th, 2005, that we got the much needed respect and recognition from the world. For on that day, Asafa Powell broke the 100 meters world record. Now, a new problem arises. We go from having less than 50 athletes to over 100 athletes. We now have athletes from multiple nationalities coming to Jamaica: Great Britain, South Africa, Barbados, Trinidad, all coming to Jamaica because they want to know what is happening in Jamaica. Why is this happening? And there's a new buzz in Jamaica. The new buzz is that, hey, Jamaica has the world's fastest man. And guess what? He lives in Jamaica. He trains in Jamaica. His coach is Jamaican. Now, this is a big deal. So everybody says, what's going to happen at the next Olympics? Beijing is coming up. And so we all have to get ready for Beijing. And of course, I can't fool you long enough. We know what happened in Beijing. So of course, people are going to want to know, well, could that also happen in Berlin? Now I'm going to put some important numbers up on the screen. So I'm going to try to move away to this side so you can see what we're facing. Now, earlier I mentioned the third challenge we faced, which was convincing people that what had happened to Jamaica at the Olympics and the World Championships wasn't that great, which is hard because we're a proud nation, we're a proud country. Yeah. But here are the realities of what we saw, and we were not diminishing what had happened in the past. We simply felt we could do so much more. And I entitled the slide, The Impact of the Jamaican Coaches and Managers. All Olympic Games prior to Beijing, here are the results. Jamaica earned a total of 7 gold medals, 21 silver medals, 13 bronze medals. This is over 15 Olympic Games from 1948 all the way to 2004. This averages less than 3 medals per Olympic Games. And we were ranked 14th in the world. I will point out to you that the countries ranked ahead of us were all bigger, stronger, with greater populations. But the reality is we were ranked 14th in the world. What happened in Beijing? In Beijing alone, Jamaica earned 6 gold medals compared to 7 over 15 Olympic Games in the past 60 years. We got 3 silver medals, 2 bronze medals. That total of 11 medals was 400% higher than the average that we used to earn in our wonderful history in track and field. We broke 3 world records there, 4 Olympic records, and we were ranked 3rd in the world in track and field. The number that I love that you can't see on this screen is that of all the athletes that earned medals for Jamaica at the Beijing Olympics, 10 lived and trained in Jamaica with Jamaican coaches, 5 lived outside of Jamaica. Of course, we were celebrating. We were going crazy in Jamaica. But the rest of the world said, well, was this just a fluke? So we needed Berlin. Berlin was essential for us to prove that what we had done was no fluke. So let's look at the World Championships. All prior World Championships before Berlin 2009. Jamaica earned a total of 7 gold, 32 silver, 28 bronze. This is over the 11 World Championships from 1983 to 2007. We were averaging 6 medals per World Championships. Berlin, after Beijing, we had to prove ourselves. We actually earned 7 gold medals compared to the 7 we had earned for the entire 11 World Championships before. 4 silver medals, 2 bronze medals. These are Olympic and World Championships. You can't get any better than this. 2 world records, 4 championship records, 13 medals, our best ever, which was even better than Beijing. And as I stand here today, Jamaica is ranked 2nd in the world in all of track and field. All right, so we have made the shift. We're now back to 2010. And you understand the challenge we face, convincing people to give Jamaican coaches and Jamaican managers an opportunity to do it here in Jamaica. I promised you 3 philosophies, and let me share them with you very quickly. The first philosophy that the MVP Track and Field Club brought to the table is that we no longer saw track and field as an individual sport. I mean, we know that football is a team sport, cricket, basketball, soccer. We saw track and field, and still see it today, as a team sport. Now, this is a radical shift because people said, no, you're running out there by yourself. It's you and your lane. And you'll see this came out actually quite powerfully in 2008. And here's the story quickly. Asafa Powell is our first athlete to run in a final at the Olympics in Beijing. He's a former world record holder. We expect him to win the gold, but certainly if he does badly and falls twice, he'll certainly still get a medal. Asafa came 5th. Usain Bolt wins that race, runs a new world record, 9:69, and Asafa is left at 5th place. That affected the MVP Track Club, and let me show you how. Usain was 21 years old, first Jamaican man to win an Olympic gold medal in the 100 meters. The very next night, Shelly-Ann Fraser of the MVP Track and Field Club, also 21, becomes the first Jamaican woman in history to win an Olympic gold medal in the 100 meters. The story, though, is that an American interviewer from NBC notices this interesting 21-year-old first-time gold 100 meters for these 2 Jamaicans and interviews Shelly-Ann while still on the track and says, Shelly-Ann, of course, Usain must have inspired this. And Shelly-Ann said, well, yeah, but I really had to come out here to represent for my training partner, Asafa Powell, who came 5th. Because the team MVP felt that we had to work together as a team. And that's a very powerful message that we felt showed the teamwork that we had developed at MVP. The second philosophy, and this one is critical. I mean, if this is going to be on YouTube, everybody needs to hear this. The second philosophy is that MVP is convinced, and I know people want to see the numbers, MVP is convinced that the option that we have created here in Jamaica is just that, an option. We are not here saying that Jamaican athletes should not accept scholarships to United States universities. In fact, we encourage it because some will thrive in the US system, as we continue to see. But we need to have the option here in Jamaica because not every Jamaican is going to adjust to the new climate, to the new weather, the snow, the new food, the new culture in the United States. And therefore, it is critical then, and it is critical now, to have the option so that Jamaicans can live and train in Jamaica. The third and final philosophy that has guided us at the MVP Track and Field Club was actually taught to us by a Jamaican national hero, a gentleman by the name of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He said that if you have doubts, if you do not believe in yourself, you have already been defeated twice in the race of life. However, if you do have confidence in yourself, you have won the race before it even begins. And therefore, we today can declare that we are winners because we have proven that Jamaican coaches and Jamaican managers can develop Jamaican athletes to be the very best in the world right here in Jamaica. And what I've shared, though, is a Jamaican story. it's important that you understand the three philosophies are globally applicable. Anyone who can see a team sport where they're seen as an individual, anyone who can truly believe in self, and of course, importantly, the second of my philosophies, it's important, ladies and gentlemen, that these be shared globally. We can make the world a better place. Thank you.